Hi. Dun dun dun. Okay, so I'm just waiting for the lady, I guess, the lady that I'm interviewing today. I'm just waiting for her. Yeah, in the meantime, is this put you on silent? Yeah, guys, how was your day? How's it going? How's it going? Huh? Okay, I'm gonna just, ooh. Hello. Oh, I'm so excited. Ah. Hi.
Hi,
How are you?
good here.
I'm good. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, you too. Where are you?
I'm in Joburg. I'm by Tisha and her baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
I need to
oh,
meet the little man. Yeah, so I'm in Joburg.
oh.
How was your day?
Busy. It was busy, but
Oh,
and yours?
busy because you have 3 children or
Uh,
like extra busy?
yeah, I've got 3 kids, right? Decide you go away. Go away. Uh,
I mean, I'm very sure that they're going to come in and out. Hey B, what's up?
Hi.
Oh, yeah. Oh, friend, thank you so much for taking some time to talk to me today.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, so I mean, I have 5 questions, right? I belong
Right.
with 5 questions because probably going to take like 5 or 10 minutes. 5 questions and then I'm done. Uh,
Okay.
so it's not a long one,
Okay.
right? Okay, so question number one, I'd love to know from you, when God introduced Himself to you, like what attributes did He introduce Himself as? So, like, was it grace or holiness or love?
I think purity. Just
Oh, see.
I think. I mean, I grew up in a house where, I mean, God was very real. Um, so I didn't have my come to Jesus moment in the traditional sense. Um,
Okay.
um, so I gave my heart to God, and at 16, I decided to really how would I say this? Like cultivate that relationship, and it was like a
Okay.
come moment. But I think what was so precious for me is that I was challenged by how holy God is and how pure He is through a book,
Yeah.
and I think He used my teenage
What
situation.
was the book?
Oh my gosh, friend. It was a dating book. Man, the purity
Oh,
book.
I keep dating Dubai. The
Yes.
I kids or the boy meets girl. Okay. Oh wow, hectic.
I,
Okay. I
and
keep dating Dubai. Yeah.
yeah, and I really sensed that he wanted to isolate me from my friends and the influences that I was having. And I remember he asked me to read in Luke where Elizabeth isolated herself for
Yeah.
5 right when she was
Oh, okay. Yeah, when she was pregnant. Yeah.
my journey started there with God, where it was like he wanted to purify surroundings, and he really wanted to speak to me about purity and how holy he is, and that he wants me to mimic that. So yeah, I think
Sure.
yeah.
Wow. Oh, man, that's so fresh at 16, my man. That's the time when the hormones are supposed to be going. And now here you are with purity.
I think he knew, right? He knew that
That was the time to catch you, huh?
because otherwise, me, I would have gone into a very weird situation. But yeah. So I mean, like I've always like my dad. We grew up in a house where God was holy, and I mean,
Yeah.
as a teenager, being surrounded with all these teenagey things, and being polluted, I guess, even at a young age, you get polluted by stuff. You're
Yeah.
surrounded with people,
Yeah.
and the whole teenage scene. So God, He
Yeah.
jumped. So yeah,
Okay. Digetso says, not the hormones.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sure. That is actually a really precious one. How did that journey end, if you don't mind me asking?
With me being married, okay. No, I guess through purity and through holiness, it's like the doors opened to seeing God, right? Because it says, "Blessed are
Yeah,
those who are pure in heart." And
the
then he
pure
touched
in heart. Yeah,
where he was like, "Okay, it's not just purity sexually. It's not just purity of mind. It's not just being pure for your brother's sake. It's not just
yeah,
pure because you're my child. It's pure of heart. It's pure,
yeah,
like it's a whole thing. It's like a whole body thing. It's a relationship with me that's pure. It's
yeah,
and the more that I pursued that, the more other doors opened, and the more I perceived God in different ways, and He was introducing Himself to me in so many different aspects. I think that was like
yeah,
a door that opened so many other doors for me, right?
yeah.
So,
Okay, now you're married with 3 children.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so question number 2. Can you share with us like a big testimony in your life? Like just, it doesn't have to be recent. Maybe it's an old one, maybe it's a recent one. It doesn't matter. But just so like a big testimony.
I think for me, I'm always about your testimonies have to be recent. I'm sorry, that's just who I am.
Okay. Okay. Good girl. Yes. This is why we are friends.
So
Yeah.
we've been walking a road with a couple. It actually happened Tuesday. So we were with you on Tuesday. So the process that actually the process of the testimony. But it was so cool because we've been walking this road with this couple for about like 10 years, where they've had such a difficult journey. And for me, praying for somebody for 10 years has been a real challenge, where God has been testing.
Oh my word.
You keep on praying for this couple and investing in it. And as like Fiela said, it was tough. Stuff that they went through. Tough, and my heart just broke for these two. I had started getting kids, and it was tough. And it was like family.
Is it a married couple?
Yeah, married couple.
Okay.
And we actually did school together. The guy and I, we did school together.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He started mentoring. Morris started mentoring him, and his wife just almost like came into the picture. So anyway, so it's been amped up this year like crazy. Like it was bad. So I mean, when we thought we had to help, or God said, "Okay, help," we did. When God said, "Don't get in the way," just prayed. But like it was like this last week, it was so bad, and I just said to God, when are you gonna come through for this couple? Like, what? Why?
It's been 10 years, right?
And I was just so like challenged with God, with like my timing is perfect.
Yeah.
The week before, Marius felt a word, but it was generalized. It wasn't specific. So it was just generalized.
Okay.
Shift. And then somebody's going to go to Cape Town, and like a radical change. Him shouting at me from the kitchen. Aquaria! Anyway, and so Tuesday was like, oh my gosh, we have to tell you guys we're moving to Cape Town. And we're just like, okay, but like yesterday you didn't have food in the house. What was happening? And just like overnight, God just opened the door, and they arrived yesterday. Or just today. They arrived yesterday. They arrived in Cape Town. And God has just provided. Like new life is starting. So for me, I mean, it was such a testimony about God's timing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not grow weary when doing well, because in due season you shall reap if you faint.
Yes, my man. 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
It was so encouraging.
Right? Yeah, that is very encouraging. Yeah, no. That is
very encouraging.
I feel like I need to go back and check now, are there any promises of God that I've kind of just let slip through, because after like 2 days, I'm like, okay, God, you haven't done this yet. Sharp.
Okay. Yeah. So it's really encouraging for me. It was so cool. And I was just like, you better not give up, Andri. You better not give up. Yeah.
Listen, better not. So also, just for people watching, Morris is her husband.
Oh my gosh,
People
Wendy,
people
those
are gonna
twee
be like,
mense wat kyk.
why do you have two?
I
I
don't
have
know.
five.
Oh,
That's
my
weird.
my
Okay.
signal. Oh, my signal
Well,
was a bit bad. Whatever.
I mean, even if there's just one person that's checking, right? Even if there's none.
Even if it was just you and me, friend, having our
Even if
moment
it's just you
live.
and me. Okay. Okay, then can you share with us also just a recent conviction? Something
Oh,
that Holy
wow.
Spirit has given.
Oh my
Yeah, I
God.
mean, we
So,
can't just talk about the mountaintops, right? I think the valleys are also quite,
yeah.
they
I
can
think the
also
valleys,
experience.
for me, the valleys are the most important because it's there where your grit has been tested. It is there where
Yeah,
your strength comes out. It is there where you meet Jesus, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
for me, conviction, God has really been convicting me to suffer well. Because Morris and I are
Okay.
really going on a journey
Yeah,
with God regarding suffering and drinking from the cup of suffering. And
yeah,
every day, I kid you not, for the last month, stuff has happened. And God was like, you've got a choice. How you're going to suffer? And there were days that I was going to be like,
cool.
yes, this cup, it's too much for me. And I'm really just tested. And I think both of us, we just tested every day. How are we going to go through this? How are we going to suffer? And obviously, there's days when we fail miserably and we throw tantrums and we're like,
Yeah,
but why?
yeah,
But
yeah.
but he's teaching us something so profound. I was listening to a series, that critical thinking series, and Larissa
Critical
said
thinking,
something.
critical, yeah.
Yes. So Larissa said something that really stuck with me, and she just said to me that she said in the series, she said they were speaking to an old evangelist, and you bet, like he was like salted in the Lord. He was old and he's
Okay.
gone through a lot of stuff, and she asked him, so our church are predominantly like millennials and Generation Z, of X, or
Yeah,
generation E.
the
So
young
they,
ones.
yeah. Okay. So they're young. So how do we, like, what can we do? What can we do?
Yeah,
And he's just like, well, what should we be teaching them, or, you know? And he was just like, he started
yeah,
crying, and he was just like, his biggest concern for this generation is they don't know how to suffer. They've got everything so easy. And that hit me like, yeah, because I was just like, oh my gosh,
yeah.
there is a reason why Morris and I are going through this right now, is because God wants to just lay that foundation, because who are we if Jesus
Yeah,
went through suffering? Who are we not to?
yeah,
And when it comes, you will have to stand and give account on how you suffered, because
yeah,
that gives you pleasure as much as your
yeah.
victory, right?
But also, right,
Yeah.
in the suffering is where what is in your heart actually comes out of your mouth, right?
Right.
Yeah, and
Your motives,
yeah,
your heart, your
yeah,
thinking, your
your attitude,
mindsets,
your
your
attitude,
demons.
the demons. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
But I
Christians
think
have demons.
I think when you say when you say that now, it reminded me of that Bible study that we did with Corey Russell,
Oh yeah.
where he talks about the suffering Messiah, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
how in the suffering is where you get the gift of tears, and in this, like, and all, like, it suddenly you look at the experience of suffering so differently when you realize that, guys, you don't just have a weeping Messiah, you don't just have a loving Messiah, you don't just have a gracious Messiah, there's also a suffering Messiah. But
Right.
I think that phrase, though, is such a heavy phrase, like to suffer well. Like, there's no time to go into all of that now.
No.
But what would, like, if there's, I don't know, I almost want to say, like, if there's one thing that you could say, like, what does suffering well look like? What does that mean?
For me, that's so broad, but also, okay, let's be specific.
Yeah,
I think your attitude.
Because I'm saying just one thing, right? Just
okay,
so, because if somebody's listening to this and says, okay, how do I suffer well?
So one thing that God has taught me in this is when that happens, and you feel that moment of desperation or overwhelmed, you feel overwhelmed, or you feel like the wind is being knocked out of your sails, or it's just one too much. It's like you interfere, like just one thing too much, and you like the last. It's like, where are you going to turn? Are you going to turn to Jesus, and you're going to turn into His embrace, and you're going to turn to Him and go get your rest and strength and go to Him? Or are you going to turn to the situation and let that overwhelm you, and let that, like, I don't know, like ruin you, or, you know, tip you, or, hi, can they see me? Is it the baby? It's a baby! Oh. Anyway, so, so yeah.
Okay.
I think it's like,
okay,
where
cool.
do you turn?
Yeah. Okay, question number 4. What's your favorite Bible verse at the moment?
Galatians 6:9. Just because suffering. So do not go weary in doing well, for in due season if you faint not.
Okay. Oh, awesome. Okay, and then last question. If you got to meet a character in the Bible, but it's not allowed to be like one of the main guys. Okay, so it has to be like someone random, or, you know, supporting cast. Who would you meet?
So I've recently been reading the Gospels, and those 2 dudes, it was the one that I named, but the other one that was walking to the road to, what was it called? Emmaus.
Emmaus. Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Cleo,
so I would have to
Cleo
speak
something.
to them.
Cleo.
Cleopas.
That's it. Yeah.
So I mean, I would actually love to talk to them, because, you know, when I realized, oh my gosh, that was Jesus, and it was him in his resurrected body, and they were literally, they were speaking to Jesus after the cross. Just how, I mean, that just blew me away. Like, just to be in there, to be in that discussion, you know, afterwards when they realized we were talking to Jesus, and he had dinner with them, and it was just so special to me that he made, they weren't part of the 12 disciples or the 12 apostles. He made so much effort to sit and have like dinner or lunch. I don't know what they had him. And, you know, he was chatting to them, and he waited for the opportune time where he revealed himself to them. But just their experience, oh man, can you imagine?
That is so cool. Yeah, but, you know, and I love that scripture. My favorite part of that whole thing is when they actually say to each other, "Did our hearts not burn?" You know, as he says, I'm like, oh my gosh. That conversation, right? That's conversation you want to engage in. So, yeah. Okay,
so yes,
that's it. Cool. Yeah, that's
I can carry on with my night routine, because the kids are getting so empty. I need to feed them and all those wonderful things.
Tell everybody I say thank you that they gave like a few seconds to just.
Oh, thanks, friend. This was fun. Love you.
I love you too. Bye.
Bye.